Recently, I uploaded a video called Facebook Pixel Everything Music Artists Need to Know, or something along those lines. But I glossed over an important feature called Conversion API because I didn't want to muddy the waters with another complicating detail in an otherwise pretty long and complicated, detailed video. So in this video, we're going to go over Conversion API, how it applies to music artists, and how it's actually pretty simple. You just literally copy a code, paste it into your landing page service, and you're ready to roll. Now, before I show you how you can generate a Conversion API access token and how you can install it on your landing page, I want to just go over what is Conversion API. You might be familiar with the concept of a Facebook Pixel. If you're not, check out that video I just talked about right there. But essentially all it is a way for you to track activities on websites. So imagine that someone comes to your site and they do an action on your site and then they leave your site. Well, you might know that because maybe you have Google Analytics and maybe you have statistics on the back end of your web platform. But how would Facebook know that? For example, if you're running ads from Facebook and you're sending people to a website, how will Facebook know what the person does on your website? And the reason why you want Facebook to know is because they're going to use that data to optimize your ad campaigns or confirm when results are happening on your pages. For example, running an ad to promote your music on Spotify, we're typically using these landing page things. In fact, I'll show you one right now. If I go here to this random page I made, and we'll open it up, at least I'll try to open it up, we're sending people to a page like this, and then they click a button. There could be 7 buttons on this page, there could be 1 button on this page, but either way, there's pretty much always at least Spotify. Often you'll have Spotify, Apple, and maybe a couple others. But we send people to this page. How does Facebook know what happens? Essentially, we install a pixel on this page, and that little pixel, that little bit of code tells Facebook what people do on the page. The problem with pixels is that they're prone to being blocked, meaning when someone goes to your page, they're loading your website in their browser, just like you're watching this video. Well, you might be watching it in the YouTube app on your phone. There's a good chance you're watching it on a computer on Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Opera, etc., some type of web browser. But when you load a website on your browser controls what elements of the page are loaded. And a lot of browsers nowadays, especially, will disable something called third-party tracking cookies. Your Facebook Pixel is a third-party tracking cookie. Safari has been blocking them for quite a while now. So basically, if anyone saw your ad, clicked on it, landed on the page, did a thing that you wanted them to do, that event still happened. You would see that on the back end of, in this case, Submit Hub links. I would go to Analytics, and in this case, there's no data, but I would see a graph, and I could see how many people came, how many people clicked, how many people took the action that I wanted them to take. But let's say they had Safari, or let's say they had an ad blocker. Then we wouldn't see, or we would still see it there, but Facebook would have no idea that it happened. So Conversion API is a solution to that problem, and it's existed for years, actually. And it's going to become more important as time goes on because more browsers are starting to take privacy into mind. And so Meta, being that their whole business model is focused around the opposite of privacy, capturing as much data as possible from every unique person and using that to market to them, they came up with a solution so they could give advertisers a way to overcome some of these obstacles when it comes to third-party tracking pixels being blocked by your browser. Now, if we dive into Events Manager, so Events Manager is the area on Facebook where you track events. So if you don't know where to find that, go into Ads Manager or anywhere else you are comfortable with in the Facebook ecosystem, and then go to Events Manager. And I'm here just in the Data Sources section. And if I scroll down to our events, in this case, we're going to be looking at this Feature FM Click one. This event is what I would call a conversion event. It's the event that you're typically optimizing for if you're running a Spotify conversion campaign. It's not using Submit Hub links like I just showed you. It's using Feature FM, but it works exactly the same whether it's Submit Hub links, Hyped It, Linkfire, Smart Noise, whatever. Works exactly the same. Now in this case, we have Feature FM Click, and we have something called an Event Match Quality Score. And this is a 6 out of 10. So it's a 6 out of 10 for the click event, the actual conversion event, and it's a 4.6 out of 10 for the page view. So what this score tells you is what percentage of people is from your Conversion API token are they able to match to a Facebook account. If I click on this and I mouse over this, you're going to see the definition. So I'm not going to read it to you, but essentially, better event match quality score, more likely to match to a Meta account. So essentially, a 6 out of 10 means that from our Conversion API, 6 out of 10 people that we're getting are getting accurately matched to the Facebook profile that they clicked from. And you might be wondering, why isn't this 100%? Well, that kind of comes down to how these pixels work. When you're using these pixels in a browser with a regular pixel, essentially when they click on the ad and they load the page, the browser and the page has every information about where that user came from. So they're able to like track, like, okay, you came from here, you clicked on this, we can see in the URL what ad you came from, and they're able in that moment to just match it. When you use Conversion API, things aren't communicating from browser to Facebook. They're communicating from the server on the site, in this case Submit Hub, but it could be Feature FM servers, to Facebook. So it's not going directly from the browser, it's going from the server to the server on the Facebook side. But essentially what that means is they have to match information that they have to the user. They don't have like the direct thing of like this person clicked here and jumped over here and there's all this stuff in the URL that helps them match to the event. They have a lot of that information, but they don't have the same extent of information. Again, I'm not a software developer, so if you are, and I'm saying something wrong, just let me know in the comments and maybe give other people some detailed explanation of how this works. But that's my understanding of how it works. Now, 6 out of 10 is pretty good in my experience for this type of thing. If you're running purchase campaigns, email list campaigns, etc., you're going to have more information because when you're using Conversion API, often you're not just passing the data across, you're passing everything you know about that customer. With these types of campaigns, we don't collect any data from the person. But if you're taking a sales order from them, you're collecting their name, their email address, potentially their phone number, potentially their address, their country, etc. And all that information gets passed to Facebook, which increases the chances that they're able to match that to an actual account. So, with that being considered, with how everything works, let me show you how Conversion API is actually used. So we're back in here in Events Manager. You must be on a business account for this to work, by the way. If you're on a personal ad account, you can't be. You have to be on a business portfolio or a business manager account. And then you're inside your Events Manager. We're going to go over to Settings. We're going to scroll down to Conversion API, right, Mia? And then there's going to be a section right here, Generate Access Token. So Conversion API, Generate Access Token. All you got to do is click this button. It's going to generate a code. It's going to take 10 seconds or so. You're going to copy it, and you're going to paste that in wherever is asking for a Conversion API token. So if I go over to Submit Hub Links, I go to edit this link. If I go down to Pixel, we're going to include a metapixel. Essentially, we would paste our Conversion API token here. Now, in this case, you'll notice it's asking for a metapixel ID and a Conversion API token. So I'm just going to add one. This is just another one that I have. But you do want to add the pixel, which again, if you're not familiar, watch that video that I linked previously. But it's this number here, right? It's this number. Not this number, but your equivalent of that number. Go into your account and grab that number. But you would put that there, and then you would also grab your Conversion API token and put it here. And just like a pixel, you will reuse the pixel and the Conversion API token for every single landing page that you create, and for every single like ad campaign that you're running. You can keep reusing the Conversion API token and the same metapixel ID for every single campaign and song that you're running with your ads. Now, it works exactly the same in Hyped It. There's a field for pixel ID and Conversion API token. It works exactly the same in Feature FM. It works exactly the same in Smart Noise. All you do, again, Settings, Conversion API, Generate Access Token, copy that, plop it in there. And that's it. That's how you install the Conversion API token. And with that, you will be tracking people not just with your public Facebook pixel, but with your server-to-server Conversion API token. And what is the actual result of this? Well, it's not that much. I'm not gonna lie. It's maybe 5 to 10% extra captured results. Because you can imagine, if you're just using the pixel and some of your events are getting blocked, Facebook's missing some data. So what the Conversion API token is doing currently is it's just allowing you to patch up some of the holes that you're missing. So if you're missing 5 to 10% of the people that converted, it's kind of just recapturing that. Now, in reality, what's happening is there's a bigger loss of people that you're missing because of ad blockers, because they're using Safari. But then Facebook has all this fancy machine learning matching data that they can basically like approximate when people do and don't convert, even if they have no like feedback from the pixel. They're able to still figure it out with whatever black magic they use. But that captures some, and then using Conversion API allows you to capture a little bit more data. At least in my experience, seeing the numbers, running stuff with Conversion API and without Conversion API, the difference is small. It's like in the order of 5 to 10%. But considering how easy it is to implement, all you have to do, generate access token, paste it in, and just reuse that same number over and over and over again, it's worth doing. Because if you're spending $1,000 and it's 5% more efficient, you just save $50, right? Well worth your time, especially if you're doing this month after month after month and you're spending thousands of dollars. It's well worth your time to spend the 10 minutes it takes to install Conversion API. Now, if you're using something like Shopify or a sales platform, you're going to want to look into the native plugin for Facebook or, again, whatever thing you're doing to integrate it, because it's going to be a little bit different for services like that than it's going to be for what I just showed you, Cement Hub Links feature from Hyped It. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a more complex setup. But if you want to see that video that I was mentioning before, here it is again for you to watch that, the Facebook Pixel, Everything Music Artists Need to Know. I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it yet. And if you want to see how I use the Pixel to run ads to promote my music on streaming services, check out this video down here to see my most recent video on how to do exact that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.